Yeah, man. Oh, respect and love from the world, nigga. Show them. You nigga on a microphone. Can't know where you're sitting and back for everything. Rock, you wanna solo. Bomba, clap. ¿De qué manera sufre el alma cuando alguien se va? No hay medicina que cure esa larga enfermedad. La vitamina de la vida en esta sociedad es tan divina que por nombre tiene libertad. Libérate de la mentira que está por llegar. Mide tu orgullo antes de empezar a hablar. Cierra la puerta a quien no merezca entrar, porque hay mucho que se fue y sueña con regresar. Hablemos en silencio y así no me mentirás. El poder de la palabra muere cuando hablan de más. No me fío de oraciones que se dicen por detrás. Si me miras a los ojos no te mentiré jamás. Que besar por besar es jugar por jugar. Y vivir sin amor es vivir sin amar. Solo queda la fe, solo queda soñar. Ponte de pie, ready para luchar. Some love, I can just smoke and there are some love them. I can just smoke and there are some love. I remember no fire, no girl. Ribby day. Cali with a mama soul, yeah. ¿De cuánto tiempo hablamos cuando hablamos de querer? Si la mitad lo malgastamos solo en comprender. ¿De qué manera es más fácil aprender? Que nacemos para ganar y morimos al perder. No puedo dejar de animarte, que cuando te caigas debes levantarte. Llegué para contarte que no todo artista muere por su arte. Traigo el honor de un humano con valor que utiliza poesía para respirar mejor. Escribo prosa para vengar al amor y recuerda aquella rosa que tiraron al contenedor. ¿Dónde se quedó el amor? Hey, I no voy a sitio on no microphone forever never. Tell me, roll some love, I can just smoke and the light, some love them. I Rastafari my life, some love. I remember no fire, no burn, ribby day. I live with a farmer soul, yeah. Reggae man a farmer warrior day. Not a really thing. Oh, yeah, man. Si se piensa que la música es un juego, lo lleva claro, hermano. Desde España, internacional, bomba, clack, NEGRO. Not so really easy. No. You nigga on the microphones. Hey, tell us what. Tell us anything. Tell if I'm a Rasta, feeling on my sin. Hey, more love. No. You nigga on the microphones.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles does not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of the United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use with honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Falls under fair use with honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Falls under fair use with honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not.
Yeah, man, real bomba clock and I set the volume 8. This is the music from the my niggas. Yeah, man. Oh, ribby damn, ribby damn. Hey, hey. La 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 la. You man a tribute from Black Uhuru Ray. Hey, hey, hey. Broken microphone, mystic lover sound, a dream of soul. Will my head alone, living in Zion, but Babylon. Broken microphone, mystic lover sound, a dream of soul. Will my head alone, living in Zion, but Babylon. Por soñar soñé que todo cambiaría, por pensar pensé, luchar a sangre fría sin perder la fe, viviendo el día a día, más con sentimiento que marcó mi sinfonía. Darle pan al que no puede comer, darle bendición al que sepa renacer. 3000 errores solemos cometer, pero solo un gran hombre lo sabrá reconocer. Y me di cuenta de tantas cosas, algunas crudas, otras bastante hermosas. Son los más sabios, personas poderosas, no aquellos bastardos que destrozan nuestras prosas. Es la perdición, mala situación de manchar tu corazón por tu mala acción. Dame una razón para darte mi perdón. Siento que tu alma se consume como el humo de este blon. Derramo poesía, arte mensajero que reclamo cada día. Pretendo ser sincero, más comparto mi alegría con todo caballero que mantenga la presión cuando andamos bajo cero. Sentimientos perdidos con calma, malos actos mancharon tu alma. No pide perdón quien dispara el arma, no sabe que un ladrón se bate con el karma. Broken microphone, mystic lover sound, a dream of soul. Real my head alone, living in Zion, but Babylon. Broken microphone, mystic lover sound, a dream of soul. Real my head alone, living in Zion, but Babylon. One I can get respect from volume 8. My niggas on volume 8, this is key on the studio respect. Alright, alright, alright. Bad boy kills, criminal of sound and rich. Money is a gun for me. Respect the nation. Below the time like this. Bad boy kills, criminal of sound and rich. Money is a gun for me. Respect the nation. Below the time like this. Bad boy killers, criminal of sound and rich. Money is a gun for me. Respect the nation. Oh. La 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 la. When I can just walking from the studio up the on. And when I can just your nigga on the floor. When I live a sound. Oh them, ah. Bye bye rhythm, bye bye sound in
viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII, con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento, lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Give me a second. All righty. Shit. I don't know why I lifted there. Okay. Let's see if you guys can hear me, first of all. What up, what up, what up? Hold on. Okay, the sound's good. Cool. Sounds good, man. All right. Let me, first of all, welcome you good brothers that are here. What up, ETC? What up, what up, what up? Who are you? All right, let's see. Hold on a second. Bruh. Exotic Tribe, bro. What's up, bro? Good to have you guys here. I was giving you guys some props. What's up, brother Yark? I hope you're doing well, bro. All right. So, anyways, let me show you guys something. In this channel, and I've made it very clear to a lot of people what I do. Okay, it's not a BHI, not a dumbass 12 chart. This is not a Hispanic only channel. What I mean by that is because I'm always going to stick to my roots. I believe I've discovered enough evidence to show who we are, at least like who I am, but some of y'all don't believe it. Now, I also, don't subscribe to Christian shit either. So what we do here is that we teach that Negroes and gringos together came as conquistadors, along with Arab Moors or Moors, white, black Moors, that's why I put that, fake Jews, Khazars, the fucking animals that I really dislike. You guys are man. You guys are just chosen people that do just chosen things and just like to chosenly destroy innocent, unchosen children, right? That's what you guys do. Black, white, because Khazars, Sephardics, and other nations all work together to destroy our indigenous heritage. Investigating biblical doctrines and destroying strongholds that are against the truth. Ezekiel 3:8, behold, I have made thy face strong against thy face, and thy forehead strong against their forehead. I need to know that in this channel here, I do debunk a lot of shit. First of all, regarding that Genesis 2:7, that's a lie. First of all, hold on a second. With that crap, Wakanda, you know how they made a big deal about it? Proved you guys what the origin is from that stuff too, exactly. And I had been calling out exactly BHIs that was going on, and I told you. That PUTO. Fuck that PUTO. After what he said to that old lady, bro, I don't have no respect for him whatsoever. All right, so in this channel here, I also showed you guys, and no one else does this because no one else does the homework, okay? I've debunked that stupid ass Willie Lynch letter that they so eloquently impressed upon us. Why? Especially when it came to BHI. So I'm just calling it for what it is. That right there. What else? The Deuteronomy 28. Okay. I've done that too. All right. You guys can go through these things. So today, I am going to debunk this idiot right here. Colomiados once again. I don't know, honestly, man, what his agenda is. I don't understand it. Are you saying you're black like them? But then when you talk, you say them. You don't include yourself. And then what do you get out of this? If, let's say, what you were teaching was true, what do you get out of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you get out of it? So today, we are going to find out if you guys want to walk with me, or you can skedaddle the hell out of here. I don't give a shit. What I am going to do is I'm going to debunk these motherfuckers. Because that's what I am going to do, okay? Fuck that PUTO. That's what I'm going to do. So we're going to start from the top, though. We're not going to watch the video first. So in the video, what he does is he gets into this particular concept of, like, California, Califas, Califern, right? All right, I'll get to it. So he references, and so do other people, these books, or this book called Las Sergas del Esplandian. Now, I am I could say a decent reader, not a good reader, a decent reader. I was going to say very good reader, but no. I'm a decent reader. I can read some of these things, but it will take time. So, like, for example, entonces el marinero, antes que convenía pie, allá llegaban con gusto la barca a las orcillas. So there is a patience required to read this material, which is why people translate this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to bring you to attention as to who this guy is. Garcia Rodrigo de Montalva. We're going to hear about it. Now, between 1450 and 1505, you know what I mean? So obviously these wobbles, anything that has to do with so-called old times, and then out of reference of just something that just may be them, they'll work with that. Okay, so hold on, let me see something real quick, because I heard about something yesterday. Oh yeah, thank you, bro. You had to post it on Facebook. It's all good, dude. Thank you very much. And you know, by the way, the reason I'm bringing this up too is because there's somebody that's posting on the channel, right? And they're all like just all over the place. Now they're Asians and shit. Anyway, so Las Sergas es plan. By the way, I want to let you guys know that in this channel, I do speak Spanish and I do read in Spanish. So we're going to read English and Spanish. We're going to read English and Spanish, okay? But I'm going to try to hurry up because I have my mom here and we're going to eat some pozole today, bro. Oh, man. You know what I mean? It's going to be good. Anyways, so in this book, you know, as I said, it's kind of hard to read. So we're not going to do that. All right. But what we are going to do is we're going to obviously read other ways to read it. So now I'm going to bring you to a story here called Stories Behind the Myth of California. Now, in case you guys don't know, here in the States, when you hear or see something like the novel, you're like, oh, a novel. Wow. It almost seems real. No, dumbasses, it is not real. It's like what we call novelas. Novelas are not real. They're not real. They're imaginary. And a matter of fact, they are made for what we call people que son ociosos, that have nothing to do and are just like instinctive and will react to shit like that. Yeah, right? So this is why, like, for example, La Llorona has not really ever been seen, even though you have people, oh, I saw her. I saw La Llorona. I fucking saw her. No, man. So let's reassess this shit, because guess what? This is why I'm making fun of this dude, bro. Straight up. And the reason I called him the Negro Master is because he's your master. He literally is your master. You believe the shit that he's telling y'all. And I'm going to show you like that video, which I'm gonna play at the end. I'm gonna first present what it is, and then y'all decide at the end what it is, basically. I'll say it like that. So let's begin. Willem Roos, PhD, by the way. Okay. So it's not Culomiados who lives in a fucking barn and shit and like a half-ass home that, you know what I mean? Like he ain't even got fucking drywall inside of that thing. All right. This is a PhD individual. So I think I may just kind of lean a little bit towards it. Plus, it's confirmed. So let's read it a little bit. So let's read the story behind Califia and her two spirits. Now, I do want to say this, brother VTC. I really appreciate you, bro, because you do get it. You know what I mean? And what I mean by get it is, you know, you're not like just getting concept just because you want to create hate. Now, bro, it's like, you got questions, you know what I'm saying? You got questions, so obviously, you know, you're going to want answers. So, brother VTC here, he's been posting stuff about certain things, about certain people that have been doing certain things, you know what I mean? And there's something that seems to be very common among these individuals lately, you know, so you may want to consider looking at some of these things here, right? So the reason why I'm saying that is because in the same breath, this is where that two spirit sister concept comes from. You like, instead of mayates, mayatas. You know what I mean? Like instead of that. All right, but let's continue. All right, so in 1524, Hernan Cortez was at the peak of his fame and power. I'm only going to read about 4 pages, so I'm going to hurry up. 3 years earlier, through his guile, luck, and violence, he had crushed the Aztec Empire. Now, we're talking about Hernan Cortez, who they actually will reference, okay? Wobbles always do that shit. Now, and had crushed the Aztec Empire. The Holy Emperor, the Holy Roman Emperor, Carlos V, which, remember, in case you guys don't know why we have those chocolates, it's because, you know what I mean? He's a swarty mofo. Let's continue. Appointed him governor, captain general, and chief of justice of New Spain and the oceans. But his penchant for defying orders and making enemies, and indeed his impious towards the king himself, had weakened his standing. So we do know of this history, right? So let's kind of skip a little bit here. I don't want to supposedly hide shit, because you know what I mean? These wobbles and their king, their daddy, you know what I mean? This guy right here, their Negro master, they like to hide shit, and I'm going to show you how. So if we continue, it says, most tantalizing was a report from his trusted lieutenant, Gonzalo de Sandoval, excuse me. In 1522, he had sent the towns and the people of those provinces to bring to me all the reports and secrets of the land that he might learn. Sandoval traveled as far as the shores of South Sea, the Pacific Ocean, where he founded the city of Colima before proceeding north along the coast. Reaching the towns of Cihuatlan in the present state of Jalisco, where I'm from. The lords of the province gives him a report in which there is affirmed to be an island. Okay, so let's read this. Inhabited by women without any men. Although at certain times they are visited by men from the mainland, and if the women bear female children, they are protected. But if their males are driven from their society, this island is 10 days' journey from that province, and many have gone there and seen it. They also tell me it is very rich in pearls and gold, respecting which I shall labor to obtain the truth and give your majesty a full account of it. And indeed, Sandoval had returned with pearls in his hand. All right, so now we're like, oh, shoot, maybe it is true. I don't know. Let's continue. Cortez wasted no time, he says. I'm going to go get the gold. Even before he wrote to the king, he dispatched his cousin to Colima with instructions to look for in a district inhabited by women without men, where in a matter of reproduction, these women follow the peace practices of the Amazons described in the, I want you to pay mind to this, Historias Antiguas. So think about this. This is in 15 and change, 1505, 1510, right? So why is he saying Historias Antiguas? He is just referencing Amazon, referencing Historias Antiguas. So, and again, hold that into your thought because we will touch on it later, okay? Cortez letter was recalculated, I believe. Cortez' letter was calculated to get the royal court's attention. That an island of riches inhabited by women, all right, who live without men might exist was not a new fantasy for the Spaniards. Oh, now remember, keep in mind. So this right here, this dude right here, okay? This dude right here, Culo Mialos right here, right? Okay. So he is teaching people, right? In this book, which I just told you, right? Which I'm going to get to. He's saying that shit is real, right? Cortez' letter was calculated to get the royal court's attention. That an island of riches inhabited by women who live without men might exist as was not a new fantasy for the Spaniards. Okay, so now, second point. He called it a fantasy, right? He is not calling it a fantasy. They understand it is. However, let's continue. The Greek myth of a tribe of women, the Amazons, so not the Amazons in Brazil, dumbass. That term has been used in the past. So anyway, let's continue. Living on the margins of the civilized world was persisted through the Middle Ages. At the time the Spaniards arrived in the New World, an island of women was the subject of one of the most popular novels. Listen to this. So remember what I said? Novels, novelas, right? Novels, novelas. So this is not real shit. At the time the Spaniards arrived in the New World, an island of women was subject to one of the most popular novels in the history of Spanish literature. Do you understand what this means? First published in 1510, Las Sergas Esplandían, translated the labors of the very brave knight Esplandian. So just to kind of interject, and I did read a little bit about this, and I think we'll read later in a bit if I have time. It's really more of this knighthood. And this supposedly Khalifa's chick, she runs off and leaves with his ass. Anyway, let's continue. Was the second of the two romantic pot boilers written by Garcia Rodrigo de Montalvo. He was a storyteller, man. Anyhow, drawing on old medieval chivalry tales. Las Sergas de Esplandian was a runaway bestseller. You see what I'm saying? So we have culomeados, aka curimeo, okay, going around telling people that soul situation over there in Califas or California and that picture that they use, which is very recent, all right, that shit is real. So we're tackling it one step at a time, saying here, yo, this is the bestseller shit. Over 21, okay, first of all, romantic, written, bestseller, over 21 chapters. Montalvo gives an account of an island named California, which was inhabited by black women, which, by the way, I just want to remind y'all that in 1500, the terminology black woman didn't mean an Afro woman or an African-American looking woman. I mean, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Hold on. Come on, bro. Get the shit out of here with that shit. Anyways, without a single man among them, right? So they see, supposedly, it's a black woman or black women, that they lived in a manner of Amazons. The island everywhere abounds with gold and precious stones. Whenever a man came to the island, he was promptly killed and eaten. I guess they forgot to leave that out, right? Culomeados, did you forget to leave that out? Now, it says here, its ruler was queen named Califia. All right? So this is what Culomeados is saying. The black queen of California. Let's continue. In fact, stories of New World Amazons had been making their way back to Spain well before Las Sergas de Esplandian was published. Columbus relayed reports of an island of women engaged in men's pursuits in his official account of his first voyage. It is quite possible that these reports inspired Montalvo because he's a storyteller. In any case, they kept coming, storytelling. In 1517, while sailing along the shorelines of Cozumal, Juan del Grijalbal expedition found a tower on a tip of the land that is said to be inhabited by women who live without men. When Cortés departed from Cuba to meet his destiny in Mexico, so listen to this, right? So Hernan Cortés, remember. So he's like, shit, because he believed it. He believed this stuff. Okay, but let's continue though. And again, it's like everybody, every single one of us. You know, you guys believe one thing, I believe another thing. Some of us believe me, some of us don't, whatever. But it's like it's your belief, right? Whatever it is that he was believing, he had this book and story, and like, yo, I think it's real. When Cortés departed from Cuba to meet his destiny in Mexico, the following year, his instructions included, among other things, to get a hold of an informant who will give you news about other islands, and you will also inquire where and in what direction are the Amazons. All right, so we're seeing this so far. Okay, so it's not fake that he's bringing up a book or material, and even in this shit here, again, this is why I call him the Negro Master, because you guys swallow everything he's giving you, bro. Everything he's pouring down your throats. It's unbelievable. So you might as well call him Big Daddy. Anyways, so it says, okay, the soldiers with Cortés knew Montalvo books well. Bernal Diaz, let me read that again. The soldiers with Cortés knew Montalvo's books well. Bernal Diaz, who chronicled Cortés' exploits, recalled how at first sight of the great city of Tenochtitlan, the Spaniards could not help remarking to each other that all these buildings resembled the fairy castles we read in the Amadís de Gaul, which is his first novel. Now, so they're even referencing or suggesting that Tenochtitlan may be what these broads are. Like the movie, you know what I'm saying? Wonder Woman. I mean, let's be real, man. What kind of dude ain't gonna think, hey, that's a good idea? An island full of beautiful women, right? Supposedly. Meanwhile, back in Spain, Cortez later backfired. So check this out. It gets interesting. The crown was certainly interested in pearls, gold, and new territories. Amazons are not, but authorization to undertake their quest was not forthcoming. Meanwhile, Cortez was called away to suppress the Enduro revolt, yada, yada, yada. He returns to Mexico. He found himself in controversies. Let me not waste too much time on little stuff here. Okay, so he returns. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. In 1529, now the dates change. Nuño de Guzman sets out with force of more than 300 conquistadors and some 8,000 Nahuatl allies in the lands west of New Spain to find the pearls and gold of Amazons. All right, so listen to this. The expedition was, in the words of one historian, a genocidal enterprise. You understand this? So Núñez de Guzman, which, again, they may be referencing that he believed this shit, right? You know what I'm saying? That he believed this stuff. Goes on the quest himself. Takes with him 300 conquistadors of 8,000 of our Nahuatl people, hopefully, you know what I mean? Or if not, sells, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And finds the pearl and gold for them. They're looking for it. But it says you the expedition, in other words of one historian, is a genocidal enterprise. Guzman attacked the natives' villages. So listen to this. This is why this is why I call him this right here, bro. El más puto, bro. This is why I call you, bro. That.
Fuck that puto.
Because you don't do your homework on what actually occurred in this history, that you want to paint a picture of some shit that is you only talk about the fairy tale and don't give the real shit that happened. Guzman attacked the natives, villages, stole their food, razed and burned their dwellings. Why? As he's looking for this place that you think it's so grand. Oh my God, he had a black woman, man, and tortured their leaders to make them reveal the location of their riches, of that so-called island that Montalvo wrote. And it says in July 1530, which is a year later, okay, so we're going by years here, he had reached Omitlan on the western Mexican coast, where he wrote to the king, I shall go to find the Amazons, which some say dwell in the sea, some in an arm of the sea, and that they are rich and accounted of by the peoples for goddesses. Guzman ravaged his way up the coast until he reached Cihuatlan, where Sandoval had heard of an island of women, gold, and pearls. But the only women Guzman found were cowering in fear and clutching their children. The men had fled to the mountains. There were no pearls or gold. Such news might have discouraged another man, but Guzman, the announcement only emboldened Cortez. Now it was his chance to find the island of women and their riches. So that now we're going few years later, between 1532 and 39, he mounted no less than 5 expeditions. 5 times he attempted it, to at an end, all financed at his own expense, all ending in disaster and disappointment. In 1532, he sent 2 ships under Diego Hurtado Mendoza into the seas of the coast of western Mexico to find out whether the natives were adorned with gold, pearls, and precious stones. One ship mutinied. The second disappeared without a trace. The following year, he sent 2 more ships under Diego de Becerra to find Mendoza. Again, a revolt broke out. Becerra was killed. When the mutineers turned back to Mexico, they came upon an island they named Santa Cruz, where, according to all accounts, there were fine pearls fisheries. Its inhabitants, however, were a savage tribe of Indians who attacked and killed the landing party. As the survivors straggled back to Mexico, stories of the newfound islands of the pearls reached Cortez, who, in the words of Bernal Diaz, felt a great temptation to visit the above-mentioned Pearl Island. Now, we're almost done here. The conquistadors now took matters in their own hands, and now in 1535, remember, between 32 and 39, now in 1535, he set sail with 3 ships, 380 soldiers, and settlers for the island of Santa Cruz. On May 3rd in that year, he landed at the present-day La Paz, claimed the land for king, and founded the town. Then 2 of his ships ran aground. Waiting to return, Cortez ran out of supplies, and his men began starving to death. According to Bernal Diaz, in order not to witness these miseries, he left Santa Cruz to discover other lands and came upon California, which is a bay. Then it says, the men of Cortez abandoned. Well, hold on. Do you see this? He just left them. There's nothing there. The men of Cortez abandoned the Santa Cruz, clung on for almost 2 years, a miserable colony on the coast of Baran Peninsula, where there were neither gold nor pearls, let alone a queen named Califia. It took one more expedition in 1539 under Francisco de Ulla up the coast of Baja to convince Cortez of that fact. Bam. Well, so now, this is what I find so interesting, because when you do a simple Google, right? Because I'm going to keep going. When you do a simple Google, you're like, Califia is a fictional queen. Fictional. Wobbles, please tell me. You're going to let this dude here rule your mind? You're really going to let him sell you some bullshit, bro? For real, bro? For real, man. Come on, bro. Y'all adults now. You guys are adults now. It's a fictional story. If you look into this actual situation, it's really a story. And we're going to see some things real quick, because there's some history to it, right? Which, by the way, I think he references or he ignores in this video here. Okay? So, let's see. Reconquista, chivalry is what is actually the meaning of it. The character of Califia is used by Rodrigo de Montalva to portray superiority of cavalry, I believe, in which the attractive virgin queen is conquered, converted to Christian beliefs, and married off. Did you happen to leave that shit out there, Colomiados? I mean, I don't understand why you guys don't actually consider thinking of where the hell is this even about? Or what does it even mean? It's a novel, una novela, way, like what you see on TV. You know what I'm saying? Califia is a pagan warrior queen who ruled over the kingdom of black women living in an island of California. It's convinced, raised an army, blah, blah, blah. Just like Wonder Woman. No different. You see the book? All right, so let's continue. Now, we're going to get into the Spanish part. Now, I think I can translate this. Can I? Translate. All right. Let's see if it translates properly, okay? It's just from Lecturas Hispánicas. So, you know what I mean? It's from Barrica de Letra Hispánica, some shit. Here, let me give you guys a link. So you guys can see it yourselves. Okay, so what I think about is like, okay, sounds good, man. So instead of listening, and this is what I would tell you, Wobbles, instead of listening to Horseface right here, right? You know what I'm saying? Instead of listening to your master, I would say, why don't you actually listen to, or maybe go to the horse's mouth? You know what I mean? Like, go to the Spaniards. Why don't we do that maybe for once and for all? This is from them. I am not making this the same. No, let's read what they say about this situation. Let's read a little bit. Hopefully it's all translated properly, okay? Again, bear with me. I clicked on the translation. But let's go. Prophetic spirit or sarcastic spirit. Dreams of wonder. It cannot be denied that the imagination, they were scrambled, excited. Okay? The discovery of America, gold, pearls, riches, sometimes the books of Calvary that tormented Europe. In the same critical epoch of the transition, they had a powerful influence in the minds of the end of the 15th and 16th century. All right? In the year 1493, Columbus speaks in the relation of his first trip from an island where only women live. Those who believe that it was a desire to find that California of legend so foolish as to capture an objective reality. Do you understand that? Do you understand what it's saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, hey, what's up, Vladimir? I think Vladimir is the Impala de serpents. Son más pendejos. Because you want to know something? They believe this dude right here, literally, this dude here, because he shows like a video, some pictures, a few sentences, skips, brings other things that support the few sentences that he reads, but doesn't give them the reality. So those who believe that it was a desire to find that California of legend so foolish as to capture an objective reality, although unknown, what came out of the pen of Ordóñez de Montalve has in no account Spanish psychology. Has not the account of Spanish psychology. What he's saying, because I read it in Spanish, what he's saying is you're not holding into account the Spanish psychology of that time, right? How do I know? Because it says here, nor the fact that it was forbidden to send to the Indies the novels of Calvary, because they had believed them to be intended for idle and poorly entertained people.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
So it's like ocioso, gente ociosa, bro. Like, don't give people that don't do shit, don't know shit, don't read shit, don't give them things to get confused about. That's what it's actually saying here. Then it says, yes, although prohibition was flouted, it would never be so large as to be could form among soldiers in the popular masses. That atmosphere, which some pretend is excited, perhaps the most prepared. Remember, this is translated, okay? So keep that in mind. I can read it in Spanish, but I think I may lose some of y'all. So let me continue reading it in English. If it gets bad, then I'll go back in Spanish. Perhaps the most prepared, they could read the copies that arrive. And remember that the Pizarro could not read. And remember that Pizarro could not read. That Cortez was too cultured to let himself be led by those books. Well, it says he did. And that in any case, almost all of them or all the conquerors condemned such books and laughed at them. Anticipating Juan de Alves Cervantes. If the Spaniards read the books of Calvary, did not do in such a way that they thought only of it, nor did they lose their minds. Otherwise, in the 5 parts of the world would be islands of capes, mountains, or cities, or nations that would not be called Philippines, God Hope, Mendoz, Mother of God. They would be Palmerines, Rogeles, Prima Leones, or Luciartes, Floriceles, or Orianas, or Amadises, or perhaps Urganda, the unknown. Like, what he's saying is that, listen, if that shit was real, they would have not named these lands Philippines, God's Hope, Motherland, Mexico, whatever, or New Spain. They would have named them all kinds of weird shit, because in that story of Montalves, in case you wobbles don't understand, it talks about hideous animals, monstrous beings. Are you saying they were here too, bro?
That's right.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Nelly de Bangray, according to well collected at the beginning of the chapter, it says that not a single argument is given to support the humiliating theory. Oh shit, yo, for real. Hey, listen, family. Look, I'm not, y'all ain't my family, because you on that side. This is your big papi right here. No. I love you long time. This is what he says. This is a humiliating theory. And that is why he flatly states that. And there's little doubt our noble state received its charming name, not in mockery, but rather in helpful anticipation, almost in a spirit of prophecy of the riches and wonders to be found. Like, hopefully, bro. It's like wishful thinking. Yeah, I want an island full of broads and money, dude. What dude would say, nah, I don't want that? Hey, listen, I believe in the scriptures, man. I believe in the Most High and all that, but I'm going to lie to y'all if I say, no, I don't think that. I'll be like, you know what I mean? Come on, let's be real, bro. Anyways, let's see how the Spaniards react in then before the books of Calvary. The feats performed only by fantasy serve them to refer to them as jokes.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
So, culomeados, when you read these things, you're probably doing this on the backside, huh? When you go like into your bathroom and shit. Just laughing at these bubbles. I wonder if you are actually doing it on purpose, man. I sometimes wonder if you do it on purpose. It says here, let me read it again. The feats performed only by fantasy serve them to refer to them as a joke, as a point of comparison between the real and the ridiculous, or as a reason for ridicule, or to ponder on the incredibleness of some situation or enterprise. Hadn't I done classes on confabulation? simulacrum. You know what I mean? Like imposter syndrome, schizophrenia, bipolarism, all related. Sedition. Oh man, I know that's gonna hurt. Right. That's gonna hurt y'all. As a point of comparison between the real and the ridiculous as a reason for ridicule, or to ponder on the incredibleness of some situation or enterprise, never to express the goal to which they aspired or kingdom longed for. And much less did they ever express collective desires. No examples are you can quote as a refutation in our thesis. Pedro de Ircio, who walked slowly without tormenting himself to seek danger, from which he placed himself to a good distance, and who told all the times of the exploits of the Count of Ruyena, his son, Don Pedro Gorón. This is going to make sense in a little bit. Check this out. Bernal Diaz de Castillo uses phrases in sense we affirm, putting them in the mouth of the conquerors, as if to draw the line between lie and deed positive. So he's, basically saying that he made sure to understand what is true and what is not. Sometimes that seems like a fable or enchantment, like those of Amadís de Gaul. But it is very certain, we were amazed and said that it looked like the house of enchantment that is told in the book of Amadís because of the great towers and the buildings that they had in the water and all the lime and pebble. And even some of our soldiers said that if what they saw was in their dream. And it is not surprising that I write in this way here, because it is necessary to ponder a lot that I don't know how to tell, see things never heard of, seen, not even dreamed of. So it's like, I can see people imagining things, and I could see buildings, and I could see that, but to write about stuff that I've never even seen or heard of or even dreamed of, bro, that's stupid. They then didn't dream. Even when he used phrases such as those referred above, because there was much to ponder, and it was not well known how to express it in any other way. Diaz del Castillo excuses himself from using Amadís translated by his countrymen from Medina del Campo as a point of comparison. He doesn't want to offend them, is what he's saying. We are not surprised, in spite of everything, by the interpretation they give to the imposition of the name of California. Who wants to judge one's psychology with another totally diverse? It is true that Columbus, Cortez, and a certain enemy of his, Nueva Garcia, narrated naivety. A century had to pass before Belisarius, in year 1647, described by the western coast of North America, and spoke of terrifying griffins. This is not a fable, but truth, Champ says. Now, let me go into here real quick. It is hard for a Spaniard to believe that the environment of all those expeditionaries was so charged with that sentimental phantasmagoria and ridiculous illusion that was to lead them to admit the real existence of a more or less ingenious invention of romanceros and minstrels. And on the other hand, the historian is sure that such an environment did not exist, at least with those characteristics, around California.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
It is not enough to look at the relationship of the appendices of those books this book reproduces. In them there will sometimes be ignorance, sometimes even imagination, delusion, never. So why are you guys so fucking delusional, bro? For real, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is going on with y'all, bro? For real. I'm like, sure, bro. Dude, somebody tell me, please, bro. I mean, I hate to tell y'all, but this is a fucking lie. Okay, so now let's go here. The same page, the same chapter. You can look for the options here on the bottom. You'll see here, right? I don't know why it looks like that, but you'll see the scroll down. It's a lot of information in here, okay? And it's obviously from España. So now I'm going to try to read it in Spanish so you guys can get an idea and see that I'm not bullshitting, okay? So let's go. ¿Quién inventó esta palabra de agradable ritmo que quizás existe desde hace 1200 años? What?
¡Que alguien me explique!
California es una palabra agradable al oído, casi musical y fácil de pronunciar, con características muy particulares si se le compara con los nombres de los estados mexicanos, pues además de ser junto con otros de las otras dos de la palabra más larga en ese conjunto, es la que tiene el mayor número de letras distintas. Se trata de uno de los vocables más antiguos entre los nombres de las entidades nacionales. Y su significado está rodeado de interesante leyenda. Ahora, escuchen. El origen de la palabra se pierde en el tiempo. Cuando aparece en la canción de Ronaldo Juarland, novela épica con escenario en la Bretaña francesa del siglo VIII.
A ver, que alguien me explique.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Chis pendejos, güeyes. This name has been heard of before. Que se refiere a la derrota sufrida por la retaguardia del ejército de Carlomagno en manos de los vascos de los desfiladores de los montes Pirineos. En una parte del poema se menciona un lugar llamado Califerne.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Pendejos, güey. ¿Saben que do you guys know that in Mexico there's towns that are similar names to Spain? Guadalajara, what else? There's another city. Any more? Shit, look them up. I'm telling you. Aunque sin otorgarle mucho importancia. Lo cierto es que el hallazgo de la palabra fue hecho por Edward Everett Hale en 1862 en la obra mencionada. Una de las primeras copias se escribió en los fines del siglo XII y es probable que haya sido leída por Cristóbal Colón, quien anotó en el diario de su primer viaje. A story. ¿Ok? Once again, dirigiéndole a los indios que por aquella tierra hallaría la isla de Matinino, que dice que era poblada de mujeres sin hombres, y que cierto tiempo del año venían los hombres de ellas de las dichas islas del Caribe. El Caribe, güey. Pero si estamos acá en el pinche Pacífico, cabrón.
A ver, que alguien me explique.
Ah, no. Hay que continuar. Que dice que estaba a 10 o 12 leguas y si parían niños enviaban, they would send them to the men, and if they had women, they would keep them. Okay, that's the story there. En 1510 se publicó en España la novela, güeyes.
A ver, que alguien me explique.
You guys know what a novela is, bro? You know, novelas are very famous in Mexico. Las Sergas de Esplandián, cuyo probable autor, García Rodrigo de Montalva, la integró como quinto libro a la obra, Amadís de Gual. En la primera parte de Amadís se menciona Calafía, reina de las Amazonas, que vivía en la isla California, muy rica en los oros. Estas novelas de aventureros, estas novelas de aventureros heroicas, con 5 ediciones de 1510 a 1561. These were novels, stories about adventurous heroes.
A ver, que alguien me explique.
Not adventurous.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Not adventurous Negroes, bro. None of that shit, okay? None of that shit. There was 5 of them. Alcanzaron gran popularidad en la ciudad en la época. They were very popular in that time. So if it was real, where the hell is it? Colomeados, tell me where it's at. Because, I mean, apparently it was very popular at that time. How come they didn't find this? But we read earlier that people died because they were looking for, and our gente was raped, by the way. Mind you, Colomeados, mind you. Then it says, en una parte de la novela, dice, sabe que a la distria mano de la India, en una parte de la novela, ¿ok? Novela, güey. Como quinceañera. You know what I mean? Like the novelas back in the days and shit. You know what I mean? Soñadores and all that stuff, right? All right, remember. Sabed que a la diestra mano de las Indias, muy cerca de aquella parte del paraíso terrenal, hubo una isla llamada California, la cual fue poblada de mujeres negras. Once again, at that time, negra didn't mean Afro, woolly, or African American looking. It just meant dark skin. You keep it native, an Indian, or an African, and you would be more likely considered negro, or in your case, more blackamoor, or Ethiopian maybe, but usually it all referenced to people with dark skin, not hair. Sin que ningún hombre entre ellas hubiese, que casi como las amazonas eran su manera. See, remember this, que casi como las amazonas. Now, if we're talking about 1510 and 1505, we know that they were not in Brazil at that time yet. So, they're not talking about those Amazons, idiot, culo miado. Era su manera de vivir. La ínsula en sí, la más fuerte de rocas y bravas peñas que en el mundo se hallaba, sus armas eran todas de oro. So they had gold weapons, like Wonder Woman. Que en toda la isla no había otro metal alguno. Y algunas veces que tenían paces con sus contrarios, había ayuntamientos carnales donde se seguía que quedar muchos de ellas prenadas sin paría. No, it's basically saying they would keep the men, and they would give the men to the men or kill them. Yeah, they would kill them. If you were a man, they would kill you, basically, supposedly. This is what these black, quote unquote, black women did in the story, in the novela, in Wonder Woman, like it's in Wakanda. Y'all love to get shit out of movies, bro. Wakanda is here in the Americas, by the way. So is Wonder Woman. But apparently you think it's a real story, but it's just a story. Es imaginable que la tierra o isla descrita de la canción de Ronalda, listen, es innegable que la tierra o isla escrita en la canción de Ronaldo, en el diario de Cristóbal Colón y en las sergas de Esplandián tienen las mismas características y por lo tanto se trata de la misma fantasía, güey. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Bro, for real, bro. Come on, Julio Meados, bro. Sit down, bro. You're really distorting these people, bro. En 1523, Francisco Cortés de San Buenaventura, por órdenes de su primo Hernán Cortés, salió en busca del Mar del Sur. Remember that Cortés sent his cousin on the other book. Hombre que se daba entonces el Océano Pacífico. A su regreso, después de haber estado en la costa de Colima, rindió el correspondiente informe al conquistador, quien en la cuarta carta, relación fecha de 15 de octubre de 1524, dijo el emperador Carlos V. Los señores de la provincia de Xihuatlán se afirman mucho de haber una isla toda poblada de mujeres sin varón alguno, y que en cierto tiempo van de la tierra firme hombres con cuales han acceso, y las que se quedan preñadas y parecen mujeres, basically the same thing, right? Diciéndome que here, que dice, es la isla que a 10 jornadas, basically how far it is. Dícenme que es muy rica de perlas y oro. Yo trabajaré en teniendo aparejo de saber la verdad y hacer de ella larga relación a vuestra majestad. So he writes to Carlos V, el chocolate. Es posible que Cortés y su primo hayan leído las sergas de Esplandián o la canción de Ronaldo, dada la completa coincidencia de la descripción de la isla, pero además pudieron haber escuchado de los indios de la costa, listen to this, narraciones sobre una isla en la que había perlas y oro en abundancia. Después de todo, listen, ya los naturales del país habían aprendido que la forma más rápida de deshacerse de los españoles era decirles que más adelante es como decir, güey, hey, güey, ¿sabes qué? No me robes a mí, cabrón. El vecino tiene un chingo de oro, güey. Ese güey tiene un chingo de oro, güey, róbale a él. Oh, that's gonna hurt. ¡Quítese a la verga! Era decirles que más adelante, güey, más adelante había tierras con grandes riquezas. Y ¿sabes qué, güey? ¿Sabes qué? Y en este caso, güey, también hay un chingo de morras y no hay hombres allá también. Con grandes riquezas. En este caso, casi es seguro que los indios de Colima recibieron en alguna época la visita accidental de algunos californios o inversamente, como lo informa Carlos V. Y así fue como supieron de las perlas que usaban de adorno los aborígenes californianos. So we're seeing that this was also to tell you, listen, way over there, bro. That's where they are. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. It's over there. Agregado a lo interior, los expedicionarios encabezados por Francisco Cortés quizás escucharon el mito religioso de los aztecas, en el que se habla de un lugar rumbo al poniente hacia donde el sol se esconde, habitado por las almas de mujeres transformadas en diosas por haber muerto en su primer parto. It's just a story, bro. Damn, y'all are gullible. I can see why now you wobbles are really into this shit. You're very gullible people. Combinados la fantasía novelesca medieval, los mitos indígenas, la ambición y los deseos de impresionar favorablemente al emperador forjaron en la mente de Cortés, y además aventurados que se adentraron por el Mar del Sur, la imagen de una isla rica en perlas y oro que debían conquistar, la cual con el paso del tiempo sería llamada California. Sin embargo, Cortés nunca le dio ese nombre a la península. Pues al desembarcar en La Paz el 3 de mayo del 1535, bautizó el lugar como Bahía de la Luz de Santa Cruz. Lo que sí es probable que es el regreso de los viajes que se hicieron desde 1533 a la península. Los marineros hayan empezado a emplear la palabra California para nombrar las cosas y tierras cuya exploración que se iniciaba, because they were looking for this place, which was never found. Quizás en forma de burla. Oh, listen, this even gets better. Palabra California para nombrar las cosas de tierras cuya exploración se iniciaba, quizás en forma de burlar o orinía, pues meaning for joke or as an irony, like satire shit, like making fun of him. Pues la desnudez de sus montañas, la irradez general de la tierra casi siempre desértica y la ausencia, ya no se diga de las ciudades, sino de las modestas aldeas, contrastaban con la supuesta abundancia de oro. Y en la fabulosa isla, lo cierto es que para 1540, la palabra ya era de uso común.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
You see what I'm saying, family? La Califerna de la canción Ronaldo es, pues, la primera expresión escrita del antiguo vocable. That's what he was saying, de antiguas historias. Aunque su origen se pierde en el pasado, ya que se ignora de dónde sacó la misteriosa palabra el autor ánimo de poema. So, okay, that's what he says. So now, this is the book that Funky Con Medina brings out. So he brings out, sorry, not this book here, this one. So that's what he touches on, okay? We're going to do this quick because we're done. So here he goes here and he's like, you know, his little way of fucking talking and shit. Right? All right, so let me see where you at. Where are you at? So here he's reading about the story. I give you guys a history of it. Okay, just want to show you guys something. The island itself is one of the most wildest in the world on the accounts of the bold, craggy rocks. The warlike and beautiful queen Calafia was leagued with the pagan princess leader Christian Dome, blah, blah, blah. The city country California, we understand now, which along with northern barbarian tribes and with other Sicilian Africi, we're going to kind of check into it real quick. I'm trying to look for this. Where is it at, man? Hold on a second. What the hell, bro? Isn't this it? The Manchester way. Hold on a second. This is it. I know this is it because this is what it looks at. Give me a second. Let me slow down a little bit. Here it goes. Black woman. Okay. But he doesn't read beyond. So I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to touch this. So it goes here further and says, in the old French epic, the Song of Ronald, at least 400 years earlier, mentions is made of a pagan city of country, California, Sicily, Africi, California. All right, he's going to touch on that. But at last, the veil seems to have been lifted. So check this out. Whether it was taken by Montalvo with some slight acceleration from Chanson de Ronald, or whether both got it from a common source or related source, the ultimate origin or etymology was obscure as ever. But at last, the veil seems to have been lifted. At any rate, in his very thorough study of the Chanson de Roland, just off the press of Champion, Bossinade, Dean of Literacy Faculty of Poitiers, offers a scholarly and appealing explanation which will convince many and entertain all. Of those interested in this subject, the substance is as follows. There were a number of fortified cities located in strategic points of Musalman domain in northwest Africa. Some of them famed for their magnificence as well as for the strength. An Arabic word for this type of town was called Kala or Kalat, which there is a translation in the Bible called Kali, but I'll look into that later. This word was used as a prefix in forming their names, and numbers of such names were known to the Christian world. The Arabic geographers have preserved for us many of these mouth-filling appellations. Among them was in particular which designated a city of this type apparently very famous among the Western Christians. It lay 4 days' march south of Bourg, was the capital of a great empire founded by the warrior called Beni Hammad. Those renowned for magnificence revealed that of Solomon, and was named after Berber tribe of Beni Ephraim, who was his vassal Kala-i-Freni or Kala-i-Ferni. You see this? Kali-Freni, like the Amazons. It was the queen of the city. It was the queen of the city of Barbary in century 11. And recent excavation on the site have confirmed the glowing accounts left by Arabic geographers and historians as to the extent and splendor. It was the Kala'a par excellence in the eyes of the imagination. Professor Bossignet considers it undoubtedly to have been not only the California of the Chanson de Ronald, but also the California of the Sergas de Esplandian. As a sort of epilogue, he comments, I don't know if I pronounced it right, he comments on the singular destiny which was which was in store for this name from Maghreb in a Spanish romance added to the Amadis de Gaul in the 15th, 16th centuries. It designates the imaginary country of the Black Amazons. And finally, it is applied in America to the land since becomes famous under the name California. So that Arabic word Caliph appears not to have been bad as a clue. So, hey, you know what? Culimados.
Fuck that puto.
So listen to what he says. And I'm going to speed it up because he talks really slow. Really slow. Listen, and then I'm gonna probably cut it. And then we said, I had some other books to show you. I mean, here technically, I'll give you guys a quick reference here. Here in Las Indias, bro, this book here, you guys can download it. Okay, it's very easy. Historia de las Indias. I've given you guys this book before. Okay, in this book, it has enough information to prove these idiots wrong. The conquest of the Mexican, the history of the conquest of Mexico. Hernan Cortez himself. Watch what he says, okay? I mean, I just don't know what to tell you. Cortez was informed of the approach of the fat cacique, who shortly appeared born in a litter of his principal nobility. And on his arrival, he immediately joined with the chiefs of this place in bitter complaints of the tyranny of Moctezuma. So, he's talking about these other people that he's complaining about, right? The Mexicas. That demands heavy children, So look, this is interesting to me. So he's talking to him. Then Cortez consoles them, promising readiness. And while they were thus conversing, a person came to inform the chief that there was just then arrived 5 Mexica officers or to collect of tribute, the people of Moctezuma. So what happened to them, bro? What happened to them? This intelligence, meaning like their countenance, drove the color from the cheeks of all the natives. Come on, man. What are you saying, bro? If you guys were dark skinned, how the fuck could he tell that your cheeks got red because you got scared, because you got nervous? You know what I mean? That happens. You ever seen people get scared of you and say, whoa, they turn red? Just like that. And this is people that saw us. And this book here talks about the complexion of our gente here. I think in page 79, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. This is Cortez, by the way. He's wishfully thinking of seeing something. But that doesn't mean that he's seeing it or that he saw it. Let me see if I can find it this way. And then we'll move on, man, because I got to eat some pozole today, bro. Look, we're talking about Cortez. Cortez, right? Hernan Cortez. Go to the horse's mouth. Why y'all over here bringing up books from like 1948, 1960? I don't understand that. Check out what he saw. Cortez, the same guy that you're like, oh yeah, the black woman, black. And you got these idiot wobbles like swallowing your sperm, bro. This is some nasty shit, man. Y'all are nasty for believing this stuff. And you are completely insulting your own people, your own ancestors, and spitting on the grave of ours who do and have suffered, bro. Man, no, it's for real.
PUTO.
The great Moctezuma was at the time age about 40 years, of good stature, well-proportioned, and thin. His complexion was much fairer than that of the Indians. He wore his hair short, just covering the ears. When can you have woolly hair and cover your ears, bro? Come on, bro. Come on, somebody, please. With a little beard. Well arranged, thin and black. His face rather long, with a pleasant countenance. I don't understand. Help me understand this. Guatimotzin in the page, the other one was 138, page 313. Guatimotzin was of a noble appearance, both in person and countenance. His features were rather large and cheerful, with a lively eyes. His age about 23 or 4. And his complexion, very fair for an Indian. Like, for example, I'm kind of brown reddish, right? My son is very fair. The very fair looking kid, right? He's my son. His queen, the niece of Moctezuma, was young and very handsome. Let's continue again. This is Hernan Cortez way. I will now proceed. Oh, sorry, page 479. Take it from the horse's mouth. Go to the actual Spaniards and ask them, hey, where'd this story come from? They'll tell you, bro, that shit is a joke. Well, let's continue. I digress. I will now proceed to describe the person in disposition of the Marquis. He was of a good stature, strong built, and rather pale. Pale. Hold on a second. Pale.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Complexion. Pale complexion. And serious countenance. His features were is salty, rather too small. His eyes mild and grave. His beard was black, thin and scanty. His hair in the same manner. His hair was black, thin and scanty. His hair in the same manner.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
That's not woolly hair. Do me a favor, man. Do me a favor. Wobbles, listen. Listen, Wobbles. No, hold on. He is laughing his way to the bank. Y'all are giving this fool money. You think he's gonna really help you? He's taking your cashola. Now, look, this is a book that I was gonna show you last time, right? Just to let you know, let me move on from it, and then we're done. I'm gonna show you the video so you can laugh at his ass. This is Wobbleism to the fullest extent. So now that you have a history of what they're gonna go over, rather enjoy the stupidity. And no longer should your spirit be at any moment shaken or disturbed or bothered. This is why I do what I do. I give you information and resource because it is the spirit that is moved. Because when you read this shit, it should bother you. And if you don't know how to answer it, you're like, man, what the hell? Well, now I'm providing you real facts as to where this idiot is going and who these people are and how in reality, you shouldn't even get mad anymore. This should be a joke to y'all, bro, because they're leading them to destruction. Here's why they want your shit, okay? Tratado Único de Singular de los Orígenes de los Indios, del Perú, México y Santa Fe en Chile, por Dr. Diego Andrés Rocha. This is reprinted in 1891, but he was here in the 1600s. Let's go to this particular area here, because that's really what I wanted to get to. All right, so here he's going over explanations in regards to examples as to what they believe is the true origin, right? But here he says, let me see if this is it. Hold on. Let's see. Quiero poner España por vecino del mundo. ¿Qué otras letras significan? Hold on. Let me see if I can get it real quick. I'm not going to lose my thought this time because last time I tried to show you guys and I didn't. Oh, maybe is this one or is it that one? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me see. How many pages is this? 248. Let's see what pages it's on. 4. Hold on a second, family. 134. Oh, okay. That's what. Check this out. I'm going to leave you with this gem. This is why. And then the other day, this idiot did a little Jew and like, you know, supposedly. Now he's trying to say that they're Jews. I told you, man, Wobbles were going to try to do this shit. Now they're trying to say that these Negroes are Jews and Hebrews and shit. I'm telling you, the only way that they do that is by infiltrating through your history because the BHI shit didn't work. So Colomeados is just part of the whole game, bro. Don't let these people fool you, man. It's so ridiculous. Check this out. This is why they want your shit. It says here, this is what this Rocha guy was saying. Después de haber puesto los lugares que me han parecido más a propósito. And again, this is what I believe. You don't believe it, you can skedaddle and move on. I already showed my point in regards to what that dude is teaching. Now I'm going to show you what I believe and how it identifies us. Whether you believe it or not, I don't give a shit, bro. You don't have to be here. You're grown men and women. You can believe what you want to believe. I don't pay your bills. You don't pay my shit. I don't take care of kids. You don't take care of my kids. I don't care about your kids. You don't care about mine. So why do you get your time wasted on this? So let's finish it off. It says here, después de haber puesto los lugares que me han parecido más a propósito, sacados de la Sagrada Escritura, para probar que estos indios descienden en gran parte de las tribus. He dispuesto este párrafo para que sirva de miscelánea y de grande y eficaz indicio para que judíos e indios sean de un mismo origen y tengan entre sí mucha comunicación de sangre parentesca.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Okay, so here's what he's going into, how we spoke a certain Hebrew, but it was broken. El tercero, que en el primeras islas de Jamaica, Cuba y adyacente hablan un hebraico corrompido. Certain words, that's what he's going to. Now, that's one book. This is the other book here, part 2 in a sense, all right? Again, same book. You guys can download it, take a picture of it, pause the video, whatever, I don't care. That's what it's called. Tomo 4. El otro era tomo 2, se me hace. Segundo volumen, disculpen. So here you see, hold on a second. It goes. So here he's continuing, right? Because in this book, it ends. Yeah, let me show you. He's going to point 3. Here he gets pretty serious about what he believes in. Now, the similarity, remember the other video about the guy saying, oh, it's Babylon and similarities? Yeah. That's because we were there. At least that's what I found. He talks about how some of us look like the Nazarenes because of the way we hold our hair, how long it was sometimes, that our languages and similarities in the way that we conducted ourselves were Hebraic and Chaldaic in some sense. Okay? So he's talking about really detailed in regards to using the Bible. So now it ends in 8, as you can see, and he continues on this one. 9. So it says, concuerdan asimismo los hebreos y los americanos en la inclinación a la idolatría. So he continues with his similarities between us and them. Okay? So now, outside of that, this is what these guys are teaching. Listen to this.
So this, well, it's called New Light on the Name of California, all right, by Herbert D. Austin. The source of this, the annual publication of the Historical Society of Southern California, Volume 12, Number 3, from 1923, pages 29 to 31. The United States. In it figures a wild and wonderful island called California. All right, we're talking about the exploits of Esplandian in 1510. All right, a wonderful island called California. Remember what I showed you in the beginning? All right, a lot of these maps showing California as an island. At the right hand of the Indies. Like the farthest, always a far distant land, right? These mythical places are always in an unknown region on the other side of the Indies, India, West Indies, all right? Very close to that part of the terrestrial paradise. What? California? Very close to the terrestrial paradise? What have we been learning? What is all the correlation we've come up with? We've shown that this is the true old world and this is a possible location of the Garden of Eden. All right, so this book, somehow, why he's saying this in this story in 1510, which correlates with so much that we've been learning recently.
Why is he saying this? You know why he's saying this. All right, I'm going to let it go about to here. Then I'll skip it to here a little bit, just so you can see the continuance of the stupidity. And then that's it. And then I'm done. I think I've proven my point. Unless somebody is still confused. While we're at it, let me just share you guys this real quick. While we're at it, there's wobbles. Listen, and I'm gonna have to repeat myself with y'all. This is from your famous writer that you like to bring out. Colomiados loves to bring this dude out, right? Oh, Samuel Morton. Hey, Colomiados, why don't you share this shit of Samuel Morton that he wrote in Cronea Americana. And you read in this page. A copper-colored skin has been assumed by most writers. Okay, let me go here real quick. A copper-colored skin has been assumed by most writers as a characteristic distinction of the Americans, meaning our gente, indigenous, us, not those few, who have hence been called the copper-colored race after some time, right? The investigation of Dr. McCullough satisfactorily proved that this designation is wholly inapplicable.
That's gonna hurt!
Why is it inapplicable, you say? To the American as a race. Why? And that it is more characteristic. Oh, hold on a second. Who is it more applicable to? I'm sorry. Of some other and very remote nation.
Fuck that PUTO!
Shut up. Like Africa, maybe? Like that far distance land? Yeah, possibly, right? How do we know? Well, let's continue. The error was obviously arisen from the habitual use among many tribes of red paint to a brown skin, which occasions a coppery hue. Get it? Made up. Humboldt declares that the denomination of the copper-colored men could never have originated in the equinoctial regions to designate the Americans, meaning our gente, colomiados, not Negroes. So why are you Negroes using copper color to supposedly designate that this is how they identify y'all? You know what I'm saying? Don't. Whatever you want to be lost in the sauce, by all means, please do. I'm going to bring facts. Humboldt declared that the denomination of the copper-colored men could never have originated in the equinoctial regions to designate the Americans. And I could further testify that among the individuals of many of the different tribes that have come under my observation, I have never seen a copper-colored man, meaning as in natural, like, no, there's a hue. You get tanned. I got another book, family, which I'll bring it another day, where our sisters would have the babies and they would dip them in some chestnut type of a mixture of, kind of like of liquid to dye our skin to protect us from the sun. Oh, God. We're going to keep going. We consider, therefore, says Dr. McCullough, that the color of the American Indian in general is brown, differing in intensity, right? Like I'm light skinned, dark. My son's light skinned. My brother Chato, he's dark skinned. His kids are dark skinned. Brother Jaime is dark skinned. Miguel is like me or a little bit darker. You know what I mean? We're a variety. My wife, her sisters are dark skinned. She's light skinned. You see what I'm saying? So it differs within the same father and mother, differing in intensity with various tribes according to the various localities. But that it is almost impossible to say that brown color principally resembles, meaning copper color. The cinnamon is, in my apprehension, meaning like as close as I think I can get, the nearest approach to it, though it's still too inaccurate for general comparisons. Why? Because if you think about it, look at your forearm and turn it over and look at the under forearm. If you turn it around, it goes light to brown. If you tan yourself, it could give you that kind of hue color, like that lion's tone, orangey, brown, reddish. You know what I'm saying? Maybe darker. That's why it's inaccurate. That's why it's like, you can't say all of them are copper color, you idiot. I fully coincide in opinion with Dr. McCullough and believe with him that no epithet derivable from the color of the skin so correctly designates the American collectively as that of the brown race. Because I am proud to be my skin tone, bro. And when I tan, I look great. And when I don't tan, I still feel great, man. It is what it is. If some of my kids are lighter skinned, it is what it is. And some of them are not, it is what it is. We don't give a shit about that because we know we got it in our DNA. Although the Americans thus possessing a pervading and characteristic complexion, meaning continuous and characteristic complexion, to this very day we have it, there are occasional and very remarkable deviations, including all the tints from a decided white to an unequivocally black skin.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
This fact may be sufficiently illustrated by the following example. What more do y'all wobbles want? Stop believing this guy. Let's go. And we're
right. How did he know? I mean, let's go into this. Which was inhabited by black women. What? So we got an island named California at the right hand of the Indies, all right, very close to that of that terrestrial paradise, which was inhabited by black women without so much as a man among them. And they lived in the manner of the Amazons, meaning like warrior women, Amazons. They were robust of body, with strong, passionate hearts, and great virtue. The island itself is one of the wildest in the world on account of the bold and craggy rocks. The warlike and beautiful queen, Calafia, was leagued with the pagan princes against the leaders of Christendom, from the great Amadis and Esplandian down. And it says here, in the old French epic, the Song of Roland. All right, here we go again. Song of Roland, at least 400 years earlier. Again, to letting you know it's older, 400 years earlier than the Esplandian. Mention is made of a pagan city or country, Califerne. A pagan city? Didn't they call your ancestors pagans too? Which, along with northern barbarian tribes.
Hey, so now because they call you pagan, now I'm pagan. So they call me pagan. So I'm from the Americas.
So this country, California, is different than the northern barbarian tribes because it's separating it, right? And with other Sicily, separating it with these Mediterranean people, and Africa, and separating it from the Africans, is regarded as a great potential danger to the host of Christendom. So I was saying that all these kingdoms.
By the way, he is not separating them. Along with other northern barbaric tribes and with others from Sicily and Africa, Africa is regarded as a great potential danger for the host of Christendom. He's not separating them, dummy. He's going into the continuous meaning of the word Califerne. But you see how he so eloquently said, oh, they're separated. You see black people, look, hey, don't look at that. come over here, Mr. Woolly Man. Don't look at that Kool-Aid. No. Pay attention to me. I got the water.
Other Sicily, separating it with these Mediterranean people, and Africa, and separating it from the Africans, is regarded as a great potential danger to the host of Christendom. So I was saying that all these kingdoms are a threat. California's on their list as one of those kingdoms that's a threat to the Christendom. And this earlier occurrence of a name so strikingly similar to that of California has given rise to numerous observations on the part of inquiring minds, ranging all the way from skepticism to affirmation, affirmation, whether it was taken by Montalvo with some slight alteration from the Chanson de Roland, or whether both got it from a common source or related sources. The ultimate origin and etymology was as obscure as ever. All right, so saying that these two could have got it from another source. All right, this French Chanson de Roland and these other romance epics, Amadis de Gaul and the Exploits of Explendium. From the Harvard Divinity School, says Andover Harvard Theological Library. The book is called His.
He doesn't say more. He gives you a little bit, little, but staying in the same, supporting the misunderstanding of a fucking story, of a simple novela, of this great knight that finds this dark-skinned women on an island full of gold.
Level Best and Other Stories by Edward E. Hale. All right, from 1885. The Queen of California. This is in page 232, I believe, 234. And it says, in the winter of 1862, I read for the first time the Spanish romance of the Sagas of Esplendian. It is sometimes cited as the first book of Amadis of Gaul, but is by Garcia Ordóñez de Montalvo, the translator of Amadis, a workman very inferior to Lobeda, who must be rated, I think, very highly among the writers of narrative, coming to the allusion in this forgotten romance to the island of California, very near to the terrestrial paradise. I saw at once that here was the origin of the name of the state of California, long sought for by the antiquarians of the state, but long forgotten. For the romance seems to have been published in 1510. The edition of 1521 is now in existence, while our California, even the peninsula of that name, was not discovered by the Spaniards till 1526, and was not named California till 1535.
So as you see now, he's reading this shit. Now I give you guys some history about it, and you know what we read, that who was the first person to reprint this particular understanding in 1862 is this particular person, and he's like, that's my first time reading this, and I didn't know that that's what California came from. Oh my God! Kind of like, you know, the right wingers or left wingers that they believe in conspiracy theory shit.
That's gonna hurt.
Is there any freaking difference here? It's the same concept. Let's go.
All right. So you see the timelines. All right. How fast could that story have spread to all these Spaniards, and why would they just?
It spread very mightily. Matter of fact, Culomiados, in case you don't know, Culomiados, it spread very mightily. You know, that shit was a bestseller at that time. It was a bestseller at that time. In case you don't know, Culomiados, it was the bestseller at that time. Let's go.
Say, oh, this is the one, California. They would have to have been so sure, right? They were sure of something. All right, as we're going to see what Cortez said. At the next meeting of the American Antiquarian Society, I called their attention to this derivation of the name, and it has since been universally recognized as the origin of the name now so familiar to us. The romance of this blending is now so rare that I translated for the Atlantic Monthly all the parts which relate to the Queen of California, and I now republish them. The reader may be interested in examining first the history of the discussion of the subject and then of the romance. The name of California was given by Cortez, who discovered the peninsula in the year 50.
See, there we go. You see that?
Bruh.
Seriously, bro. It wasn't given by him. Do you guys realize now, if you do the history, go to the horse's mouth, go ask the Spaniards what they actually say. What the hell are you guys listening to this damn idiot for, man? Cortez never named California. We heard it from the horse's mouth. Let's continue.
1535. All right, again, we're going to get into what Cortez said. For the statement that he named it, we have the authority of Herrera. It is proved, I think, that the expedition of Mendoza in 1532.
All right, look, do you see that asterisk? Is because you got to look into that. Just see if it's legitimate. It's a source that supposedly says it. Now you got to go to that source. So that means you can't confirm this until you read the source. Let's continue.
Did not see California. It is certain that they gave it no name. Humboldt cited in the archives of Mexico a statement in manuscript that it was discovered in 1526. But for this, there is no other authority. There is no other authority. It is certain that the name does not appear till 1535. All right, so again, we get a lot of opinions. A lot of different people, historians and people from different times had their opinion on why this place was called California. You see, it must have been anciently already been called that, because everybody's trying to figure it out. Even back in
family, we just read the history. It was a fucking novela. It was like a newsletter shit. You know what I mean? A book passing around. Hey, yo, exotic tribe. Yo, check it out. Rayak. Hey, yo, blood. Hey, yo, this. Hey, yo, that. Hey, yeah, I got a book. You got that book, bro? Yeah, hey, we got a chapter. Yeah, man. You believe that shit, man? I think so, bro. Let's go look for them bitches, bro. You know what I'm saying? You telling me they got Wonder Woman there and they got gold, bro? You know what I mean? If you're a horny bastard, man, that's the first thing you're gonna think about. Golden hoes. Ain't that the same thing? Money, hoes, and shit. Still to this very day, that's what people think about, right? Let's continue. It hasn't changed. They've always been driven by gold, oil, and drugs.
1500s, 1600s, 1700s. They're trying to figure out why it was named California. All right. Container says, I am told that the Reverend Dean Trench in one of his etymological works suggests.
Wait, sorry to step in real quick. Well, not sorry. I don't got to apologize to this idiot. This is why, we're reading in English, right? But in Spanish, if you read what he's actually saying, this is why they prevented from these books being printed, because they had people that were idle, meaning like ociosos, nothing to do, and just wishful thinkers. So they didn't want those idiots to start believing shit like this. They're like, no se lo des a esos pendejos, güey, porque van a creer un desmadre y medio, cabrón. So what happens with confabulating minds? You go in pieces and you take Culomiados' bullshit and you put it in your mind and you think, hey, I think this is true. I think this is awesome. You know what? I'm going to put a feather in my head and I'm going to dance around like these Mexicans. And I'm going to vote Trump and kick him out because I want my reparations, because I'm a true native, because my good old PUTO miados pappy told me so. Let's go. We're almost done.
That the Greek, and I don't read Greek, says implying that the province seemed to the early settlers to have the attractions of a beautiful adultery. I have not myself found this passage, but I remember Mr. Powers, the sculptor, represents California as a naked woman, seductive in front, but concealing a torn bush in her hands behind. And he describes his statue as intended to represent her false seductions. Oh, that's interesting. So Mr. Powers depicts California as a naked woman. Well, why a woman? Why is the emblem of America a woman?
I don't know, Julio Meados, why a woman? Why does she have straight hair? Let's go.
An indigenous woman, right? And it's in California. All right. And what is the state seal of California? And it says here, a naked woman, seductive in front, but concealing a torn bush in her hands behind. Sounds like Eve, doesn't it? And he describes his statue as intended to represent her false seductions.
Now this is Edom and shit. So the Spaniards found Edom here. What the? Oh gosh, don't. Let's continue. We're almost.
Of this
done.
etymology, it is enough to say that Cortez and his men knew nothing of the seductions, never finding gold or anything else tempting there, and that the theory requires more, yet worse, scholarship at their hands than that of Khalida Fornax. All right, so those are like wild etymologies, as he's saying. Of all such speculations, Mr. Greenhouse says very fitly, none of them are satisfactory or even ingenious. It is in the worthless romance of the Serjas of Explandian, the son of Amadis of Gaul, a book long since deservedly forgotten, that there is to be found the source from which the adventurers transferred the name California to the new region of their discovery. Strong, hardened bodies of ardent courage and of great force. The island was the strongest in the world. From its steep rocks and great cliffs, their arms were all of gold, and so were the comparisons of the. Is it the hardy brown adventuress who in her bark-roofed lodge serves us out our boiled dog daily as we come home from our. All right, nor golden-haired, she was large and black as the ace of clubs, but the.
I'm gonna play this and then that's it. Check this. What happens? Okay.
Prejudice.
Watch it.
Successful.
Listen to this.
The Emperor Splendian and Sultan Radiado, and she flourished, as the books say, at the time when the Sultan made his unsuccessful attack on the city of Constantinople, all of which she saw, part of which she was. She was not petite, nor blonde, nor golden-haired, but she was large and black as the ace of clubs. She was not petite, nor blonde, all right, nor golden-haired. She was large and black as the ace of clubs. But the prejudice of color did not then exist even among the most brazen-faced or the most copper-headed. For as you shall learn, she was reputed the most beautiful of women, and it was she.
Hey, Colombiados.
That PUTO.
She was, listen to this. She was not petite, nor blonde, nor golden haired. She was large and black as an ace of clubs. Now, hold on a second, Culomiados. I gotta ask you. I gotta let me show you your fucking face. Okay, Funky Cole Medina. Why would the women here in the first place, or why would they assume that they would see a blonde, golden hair woman here in the islands in the first place?
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Why would they even say that? oh, well, you know, we didn't see what we expected. We didn't see what we expected. We expected a petite woman, you know, blonde and, you know what I mean? Like, with red hair, but instead we saw a black big woman. But where the hell are they? Once again, family, this is the most beautiful example of why you need to either study, push back, or shut the fuck up and move out the way. Because this is, I mean, us that do study, well, fucking leave it for us then. Because I'm like, yo, listen, I'm making fun of him because I really want to talk to this dude and see, where are you getting this information? Are you not reading what I'm reading? Help me understand if you really are what you say you are doing for the better of people, which I don't think it is. There's money involved or some shit. Or maybe you married one of these women. I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know, bro. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I don't know what your agenda is. And like for example, if he didn't look like us, I could see you doing it like the, you know, FBAs and all those. Like, I could see that. But that's not even the case, bro. Like, you don't even like what like, you know what I'm saying? What do you get out of this? Oh, look at this. Oh, and Negroes are not. You think that Negroes like are not white? If you do your DNA, a good portion of y'all have a bunch of white blood in you. Lots of it. Oh man. I've been gone a long time. I got probably another 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Who, this guy? Let's see. Let's see. Those fools we like came for these bitches. Yeah. That's probably it. Oh, you makes fun of him? He's one of these wobbles, huh? I mean, I just don't understand how, because, and I said it before. Yeah, check that. I said it before. That wobbles were going to start thinking they were Hebrews. I told y'all that. And now they're starting to think that they are. Because BHI didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't work. So now they say, well, we don't speak the original so-called conquistador language. We don't eat the so-called food of this island. We don't have none of the customs or the oppressive customs that were implemented when they first got here. But yet we are those people. Even though the books, the materials show historical from 1500 that there was no such thing as woolly as natives at all. But no, you want culomiados to put pictures for y'all, you know what I mean, and edit them and make you feel good, and because you don't want to be who you potentially could be, which is a West African or just a simple African. But worst of all, a West African. Because if you're a West African, then more likely you're a Canaanite. And if you're a Canaanite and you want to call yourself a Wabo, when you're basically showing what Canaanites have done since they've been around. You went into another land that didn't belong to you, and you acted like them, and you want to be like them. Once again, you're into a land that don't belong to you. Now you want to be like them and telling them that they're not them. I'll give you an example. It's like the Khazars. The Khazars went into Palestine and told the Palestinians that they're not the real people from that land, that they are. The Wobbles come over here and tell us that, oh no, we're the real people from this land. You're not. Make it make sense. Listen, fam, I'll stick around, bro, but I really gotta go. I gotta go eat. My mom's here. You guys have a good night. Appreciate y'all being here. I hope you guys can appreciate this edifying. Maybe tomorrow I'll do something, maybe not. If not, I'll see you guys next Friday. And hey, share, like, make sure you post, and keep track of some of these wobbles that show up to this channel, because they do make comments. So, you know, share, make a comment. You know what I mean? Try to prove them right or wrong. Let's see if it's true. Hey, if you guys are who you say you are, then prove it. Don't go by pictures. Show some shit. Because I've been exposing every single one of you. Every single one of y'all. But anyways, have a good night. Y'all take care.
Oye, que estamos aquí. Mírame, estamos aquí. Desde hace rato, cuando ustedes llegaron, ya estaban las huellas de nuestros zapatos. Se robaron hasta la comida de gato y todavía se están lamiendo el plato. Bien encabronados con estos ingratos. Hoy le doy duro a los tambores hasta que me acusen de maltrato. Si no entiendes el dato, pues te lo tiro en cumbia, bossa nova, tango o vallenato. A lo Calaboy y bambú, bien frontú, con sangre caliente como Timbuktu. Estamos dentro del menú. Tupac se llama Tupac por Tupac Amaru del Perú. América no es solo USA, papá. Esto es desde Tierra del Fuego hasta Canadá. Hay que ser bien bruto, bien hueco. Es como decir que África es solo Marruecos. Estos canallas se les olvidó que el calendario que usan se lo inventaron los mayas con la Valdivia precolombina. Desde hace tiempo, este continente camina, pero ni con toda la marina pueden sacar de la vitrina la peste campesina. Esto va para el capataz de la empresa. El machete no es solo para cortar caña, también es para cortar cabeza.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. 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 Te muerde, te muerde.
Los paramilitares, las guerrillas, los hijos del conflicto, las pandillas, las listas negras, los falsos positivos, los periodistas asesinados, los desaparecidos, los narcogobiernos, todos los que robaron, los que se manifiestan y los que se olvidaron, las persecuciones, los golpes de estado, el país en quiebra, los exiliados, el peso devaluado, el tráfico de droga, los carteles, las invasiones, los emigrantes sin papeles, 5 presidentes en 11 días, disparo a quemarropa por parte de la policía, más de 100 años de tortura, la nova trova cantando en plena dictadura. Somos la sangre que sopla la presión atmosférica. Gambino, mi hermano, esto sí es América.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. 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 Te muerde, te muerde.
En la Plaza de Reyes, la Xumenta, Soplón. Yeah. ¿Qué vas a saber?
¿Qué vas a saber tú? Oye, chibolito, faltóme. Pulpín de los pulpines, batería de Rapunzel, de rapeos, de raptos, de lagartos en cuartel. Cualquier la pega de cruel con un viejo coronel. Soy flojo, se me antojó dormirme en el laurel. Elevé mi level con un label y un Faber Castell. Ya un papel, lo empape con sangre de todo aquel que se jura Nobel y no ve mis trenes en la riel. What's so man? ¿Por qué no sacan la tablet? Juro por mis aguas que no te hablo por las powers. Soy chinchado neto, búscame por Pico Sour y te voy a meter al centro loco como Beckenbauer. Escúchame atento mi bro, que estamos rompiéndole en pro. El negro de Plaza de Reyes como siempre rompe este micrófono. Que quiere meterle como yo pero no puede meterle tacoplón. Si te pensaba que solo era un gallo, déjame decirle que se equivocó. Real motherfucker feeling on the street. Es el Black Sea Metal de Plaza de Kings. Motherfucker, so bloom.
Nero Luis, man, desempeña a la victoria para que sepa. Incas Mo, it's money gang gang, yeah, yeah, Yo también he llorado, gente. También me han desplazado por mi rasgo afrodescendiente. Sí, un perro no habla pero siente. Cuento historias callejeras pa' barrios de delincuentes. Soy un perro que te ladra, que te muerde y que te huele, nene. Soy más que Lele, ustedes para mí son pelele. Con mi jauría todo el día en busca de los cheles. Tengo un perro en fiscalía que nos mueve los papeles y otro en la comisaría para evitar el susto. Muchas veces me han llevado por solo como luzco. Perdón, madre mía, si yo le causé un disgusto, pero en esta vía yo crecí rodeado de perros chuscos. Yo sé que me quieren ganar, yo sé que me quieren tumbar y no pasará porque soy de verdad. Está súper rafina la dodo quizá y metido en latina aprendiendo un quizá. Yo tengo el style, no mido la raza del perro, yo mido por la lealtad y yo soy leal. La calle te enseña lo que no te enseña la universidad. Salí de ese peña aquí con una seña te tiran para atrás. La calle limeña aquí nadie la teña, ya nada es igual. Tiene que respetar, tiene que respetar. La calle te enseña lo que no te enseña la universidad. Salí de ese peña aquí con una seña te tiran para atrás. La calle limeña aquí nada le duele, ya nada es igual. Tiene que respetar, si yo soy tu papá. It's Incas Mob, negro. It's Incas Mob, nigga. Nero Luigi, man. Incas Mob, it's money gang, gang, gang,
Hey, yo. Yango en la maldita casa. Me llaman pa' que les dé al menos una vez al mes. Se metieron al lago y olvidaron que era el mes. For everybody bless. La fama es una puta, me está llamando a las 3. Dile que llame después de las 16 y 25. Volví de la infancia de Abraham Lincoln. Con fuerza ya inco, luchando para salir del rincón. Letra callejera en CD brinco. Under del under, puede que tu viejo te lo mande. Sale de vez en cuando como el cóndor por los Andes. Mi cuerpo no es de madera como Dandy. Antes que me branden, yo seré el ola que los expande. Aunque esto me pique en la madera, no sirven ni para romper el ticket de un evento afuera. Loco por la carrera, desafían la gravedad. Yo espero tras la barrera y llego con la novedad. Niña, tú solo espera que ya encontré la manera. He visto bastante por querer lograrlo saltando escalones dentro de la escalera. La vida me puso al depósito, yo soy de púlpito pa' que el mundo conociera. De esta parte mejor interprete que ha parido esta cordillera. Sin luz afuera, que el espectáculo es dentro. La calle es mi templo, tiembla el pavimento. Cuando yo me concentro, mis disparos son temas. La calle un poema, se siente desde cuando entro. Y a toditos estos drogaditos que creen que rapean, los regreso al centro de mi balcón. Yo he visto el clon del clon en la misma gestión, pero a la malla no llega el balón. Y para esta pantalla no soy el patrón. Yo ya me sé la cuestión y doy fe por cada renglón. Consciente de la operación del final de Mbappé con la edad de bufón. De Yango en la maldita casa, Plaza de Rey y papá. El Nero Luigi, Black Cimental, hip hop peruano. Rasgo en la maldita base. Yao.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa Mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.